Heaven is calling you now. Pick up, my child, pick up. The line is open, and I am on the other end. Tonight the line is open, but it will not stay open forever. I am calling, not a stranger. Pick up while you still can. My child, I have dialed your number 1,000 times, and 1,000 times you have let it ring into silence. But tonight the line is open. Tonight I am not hanging up first. You felt it, did you not? That sudden urgency in your chest as you scrolled through the noise of the day. That whisper in the middle of an ordinary moment that said, stop, look up, listen. That is not coincidence. That is my hand on your shoulder. That is my voice through the statics of this world saying, I am trying to reach you. Will you let me in? You were busy, I know. The day had its demands. The list was long, the noise was loud, and in the middle of all of it, my call came through, soft as a breath, urgent as a heartbeat, persistent as the tide. You glanced at the screen of your life and saw an unknown number. You almost declined. You almost swiped away the interruption. You almost let the most important call of your day go to voicemail. But something held you here. Some holy curiosity, some restless stirring that would not let you turn the page. That is me, my child. That is me refusing to let this call end. Because what I have to say to you tonight is not something I can leave on a recording. It is not something I can text. It is not something I can whisper into a queue and hope you find later. It is alive, and it is now, and it requires your yes. Pick up, not tomorrow, not when it is convenient, not when you have finished the list. Pick up now in the middle of the unfinished, in the middle of the unsure, in the middle of the day that has not gone the way you planned. Pick up because the one who is calling has been waiting since before the world was spoken into being to have this conversation with you. I have rehearsed nothing, my child. I do not need to. What I want to say to you has been alive in my heart since the day I knit you together in your mother's womb. It has been forming through every season you have walked, every tear you have cried, every door you have knocked on, every closed chapter that broke your heart and opened mine. Tonight I want to speak it. Tonight the line is open. And when you pick up, you will recognize me. Not because my voice is loud, though there are moments when I thunder. Not because my voice is theatrical, though I have used the skies and the seas and the silence of midnight to get your attention. You will recognize me because my voice has been the only consistent sound in your life. The voice that calmed you in the crib. The voice that pulled you back from the edge. The voice that whispered, you can, when everyone else said, you cannot. Pick up, my child. The line is open. I am on the other end. And I have been longing for this conversation more than you know. I want to speak to you about delay, about the gentle, almost imperceptible cost of letting sacred moments pass unclaimed, about the way the line stays open just long enough, and then, with no announcement, no warning, no sound of a click, it closes, and we are left holding a phone that is no longer ringing, wondering what we missed. There have been moments in your life when I was calling and you were busy. There have been moments when the prompt was clear and you were tired. There have been moments when the door was open and you were afraid of what was on the other side. Each time I respected your pause. Each time I let the line stay open a little longer than was comfortable. But the line does not stay open forever, my child. And the message I have for you tonight is this: pick up before the call ends. I do not leave voicemails in the way this world does. I do not record my voice and hope you call back. When the line closes, the conversation waits. Sometimes for years, sometimes for a different season, sometimes for a heart that has finally grown quiet enough to hear. But tonight, I am not offering you a season. I am not offering you a someday. I am offering you now. The line is open now. The moment is now. The yes that I am asking of you is now. And I am asking gently but firmly, with all the love that has been building since before time, will you pick up? While my call has been ringing, you have been answering others. The call of worry, the call of comparison, the call of voices that tell you who you should be, what you should have, why you are not enough. You have picked up those calls without hesitation, and you have let them speak for hours into your spirit. And now when I call, you do not recognize my voice because their voices have become so loud. Pick up, my child, mute the others, let the static fade. Press receive on the one who knows you by name, who formed you in secret, who has been waiting for this exact moment to speak. The other calls will still be there. The other voices will still try. But for the next few minutes, for the length of this conversation, let them wait. Let me have you to myself. There is a decision before you tonight, and it is not a small one. It is the decision of what voice you will follow. It is the decision of whose call you will prioritize. It is the decision to let the eternal interrupt the urgent, to let the invisible override the visible, to let the one who spoke worlds into being speak into your single, small, beautiful life. Pick up, my child. The line is open. I am waiting. I have been waiting to speak to you, not for an hour, not for a day, for seasons, for years, for the long, patient, sometimes painful watching of a father who knows exactly what his child needs to hear, but will not force the conversation. I have waited through your doubt. I have waited through your distraction. I have waited through your grief, your rebellion, your quiet resignation, your loud searching. And through all of it, my hand has remained on the dial. Because what I want to say to you is not a correction. It is not a lecture. It is not a list of failures you have accumulated. It is a love letter written in the language only your spirit can translate, and it has been waiting for the moment when you would be still enough to receive it. That moment is now. Here is what I want you to know, my child. You are not behind. You are not too late. You are not too broken. You are not too far. The story you are living is not the story I am writing. What you see in the mirror of this season is a single page in a book that has thousands more. And the ending I have written for you is one of redemption, of restoration, of glory that will make the hardship of these middle chapters feel like a brief rain before an endless summer. I want you to know that I see the things you hide. I see the prayers you prayed in closets. I see the tears you wiped before anyone could see. I see the kindnesses you extended when no one was watching. I see the faith you held on to when holding on was the only thing you had left. And I am not unmoved. I am not indifferent. I am gathering every one of those hidden moments, and I am about to multiply them in ways your mind cannot yet imagine. I have a message for you, my child, and I have been composing it since before the world knew your name. It is not a message of doom. It is not a message of judgment. It is a message of come up higher. It is a message of the season is shifting. It is a message of what I have been holding back for your protection, I am now releasing for your purpose. I know you have been waiting. I know the waiting has been long. I know there have been moments when you thought I had forgotten, when the silence was so loud that you began to doubt the song. But I have not forgotten. And tonight, on this open line, I am beginning to sing again. Will you listen? Will you let the melody of what I am about to do wash over the wound of what has been? Will you pick up and let me speak? Some of you listening tonight have been waiting for years to hear me clearly. The voices of the world have been so loud that mine has become a whisper beneath the noise. You have strained to hear. You have leaned in, hoping that the next prayer would finally break through. You have wondered if I was still there, if I still cared, if the line had been disconnected long ago and you were just talking into empty air. My child, the line was never disconnected. The line has been open, humming with my presence, waiting for the moment when you would be still enough to notice. And tonight I want you to know, with every fiber of your being, that I am here. I have always been here, and I have something to say to you that will make all the waiting worth it. Pick up. The line is open. I am on the other end, and I am not hanging up first. I want to return to something I said at the beginning. The line is open. I want you to let that sentence settle into your spirit like a stone into still water. The line is open, not was open, not tall, might be open, is open, present tense, active voice, continuous action. Right now, in this moment, as your eyes move across these words and your heart receives them, the line is open. I say this because I know the doubt that has haunted you. I know the quiet voice that whispers, if he really cared, would he have let this happen? I know the theology of disappointment you have built, layer by layer, season by season. I do not condemn that theology. I understand it. But I want to dismantle it, brick by brick, with the simple truth of the line is still open. You thought the call had ended. You thought I had moved on, that the conversation we started years ago was abandoned, that the words I spoke to you in your youth were just the naive hopes of a younger version of yourself. You are wrong, my child. The call did not end, it was merely on hold. And the hold was not punishment, it was preparation. It was me gathering every word I needed to say, every truth I needed to reveal, every promise I needed to confirm, until the moment was ripe and you were ready to receive it. That moment is now. Pick up the line, press the speaker, let my voice fill the room of your life once again. Let the hold music of waiting give way to the voice of the one who has been waiting with you. When you pick up, several things happen simultaneously in the realm you cannot see. Angels who have been standing by lean in. Records that were temporarily closed in heaven open again. Pathways that were blocked by your unbelief are suddenly cleared. Strategies that the enemy had constructed against you are dismantled. And a new chapter begins, not because of anything you have done, but because you have done the one thing that changes everything. You have picked up. My child, the picking up is the miracle. The picking up is the warfare. The picking up is the obedience that unlocks the blessing you have been circling for years. So pick up, right now, in your spirit, in your mind, in the secret place of your most honest self, lift the phone of faith and say, I am here, Lord. Speak. Your servant is listening. And when you pick up, the voice you hear will not be harsh. It will not be disappointed. It will not be the voice of a master scolding a wayward servant. It will be the voice of a father who has been pacing the hallway of heaven, who has been rehearsing the words of welcome, who has been preparing a feast in your honor while you were still a long way off. That is the voice on the other end of this open line. That is the one who has been calling. Pick up, my child. I am not angry. I am not tired of waiting. I am here, and I have so much to say. I want to speak to you about your beginning, not the one your paperwork records, not the date and place of your physical arrival, but the one that matters most, the moment in eternity when I conceived you in my mind. Before your parents met, before the country you were born in was named, before the language you would speak was formed on human lips, before the sun rose on the first day of your life, I knew you. I planned you. I designed you with intention and joy, and the kind of love that does not have a ceiling. You are not an accident, my child. The chaos of your early years does not define the choreography of your origin. The brokenness of your family tree does not cancel the perfect design of your father's blueprint. I made you on purpose, for a purpose, in a season no human calendar could have predicted. I know what was spoken over you in those early years. I know the words that shaped you before you were old enough to question them. I know the prophecies of insignificance that were pronounced over your crib, the predictions of failure that were spoken over your first steps, the silent conclusions that were drawn about who you would become by people who never bothered to ask me. I know. And I want you to know tonight that every one of those words was a lie. Not my lie, but the enemy's lie. And the enemy's lies have an expiration date. They are valid only as long as you do not pick up the phone and hear the truth from the one who designed you. So pick up. Let me reauthor the story of who you are. Let me replace the lies with the truth that has been waiting to be spoken over you since the day I made you. Here is who you are, my child, and I want you to receive this with the same weight you would receive a legal document signed by the highest court in the land. You are chosen, not by a committee, not by an algorithm, not by the fickle favor of human opinion, but by the living God who spoke galaxies into being and decided in the quiet council of eternity that this one would bear my image, this one would carry my name, this one would be a vessel of my presence in a world that is desperately searching for what I made them to be. You are not too much. You are not too little. You are not too old to begin. You are not too young to be trusted. You are exactly what I made you to be, and the delay you have experienced is not denial. It is deployment training. The waiting room is not punishment, it is preparation. And now, my child, I want to speak to you about purpose. Not the small purpose of paying bills and getting through the week, though I will meet you in those things too. I want to speak to you about the larger purpose, the eternal purpose, the reason I made you, and the reason you are still breathing, and the reason the line is still open even after all the times you let it ring. You were made for a moment that is gathering even now, like a storm on the horizon, like a dawn about to break, like a song about to be sung by a voice that has been silent for too long. You were made for that moment, and that moment is closer than you think. Pick up the call, receive the identity, step into the purpose. The line is open. The one calling is not a stranger. He is your father, and he has been waiting a long time to say what he is about to say. I have been speaking to you for many minutes now, my child, and you have been listening. But the line is not one way. I did not call you to listen only. I called you to talk. I called you to speak just as I'm speaking. So lift your voice now in the quiet of wherever you are. Tell me what is on your heart. Tell me the fear you have not named. Tell me the hope you are afraid to claim. Tell me the question that has been circling in your mind for years, the one you thought was too small, too trivial, too honest for a God as large as me. I am listening, my child. I have always been listening. And I want you to know that no prayer you have ever prayed has fallen on deaf ears. No tear you have ever cried has been invisible. No question you have ever asked has been dismissed. I have been gathering them all, and tonight, on this open line, I want to begin to answer. Do not give me the Sunday version of your heart, my child. I do not want the polished prayer. I do not want the religious vocabulary. I do not want the answers you think I want to hear. Give me the real, the raw, the fear you would not admit to your closest friend, the doubt you have been hiding behind your faith, the anger you feel when you look at your circumstances and wonder if I am really good. Tell me, I can take it. I have taken it from every saint who has ever lived, every psalmist who ever penned a lament, every broken believer who has dared to be honest in my presence. The honest prayer is the powerful prayer, not because of its eloquence, but because of its authenticity. So speak, my child. I am leaning in. I am listening. Whatever you are about to say, whatever you have been carrying, whatever confession is rising up in you right now, I want you to know, I am not shocked. I have known it all along. The thought you thought no one saw, the action you took in secret, the compromise you made when you were too tired to keep standing. I have seen it, I have known it, and I am still here on this open line with my hand extended. That is not approval of the sin, my child. That is grace extended to the sinner. There is a difference, and I want you to receive both the conviction and the compassion tonight. Receive the conviction that leads to repentance. Receive the compassion that leads to restoration. Both are mine to give, and both are available on this open line. I am not done with you, my child. The story is not over. The chapter you are living in is not the final chapter. The failure you are afraid defines you does not have the last word. The diagnosis you are fighting does not have the final pen. The betrayal you survived does not have the closing parentheses. I am the author, and I am still writing. I am still writing your story, my child, and the pages ahead are filled with more grace than the pages behind. The line is open. I am speaking. You are listening. And I am not done. Not with this conversation, not with this season, not with you. I have been watching you wait. I have been watching you pace. I have been watching you strain to see what I have been doing behind the curtain of this season. And tonight, my child, I want to draw back the curtain just a little. I want to let you see what I have been building while you are not looking. I want to give you a glimpse of the work that has been in progress since the day you first believed. I am about to do something, my child. I am about to cross a line the enemy hoped you would never see me cross. I am about to step into a space in your life that has been off limits to you because of fear, unbelief, quiet resignation. Tonight I am crossing that line, and I want you to know it before you see it, so that when the change comes, you will recognize the hand that moved. There is a shift happening in the atmosphere around you, my child, and you may have already felt the first tremor. The atmosphere that has been heavy with delay, thick with confusion, dense with the weight of unanswered prayers, it is beginning to thin. The wind is changing. The tide is turning. The season you have been living in is drawing to a close, and a new one is pressing in, eager to begin. I am not telling you this to give you a fleeting emotional high. I am telling you this because I want you to be ready. I want you to be awake. I want you to be the kind of believer who, when the shift comes, does not miss it. So pick up, stay on the line, and when the manifestation arrives, you will know it was me. You will know I told you first. You will know the line was never disconnected. I am releasing things, my child. Things I've been holding in my right hand since the day you first cried out to me. Things I have been polishing in the furnace of waiting. Things I have been wrapping in the paper of patience and the ribbon of timing. Tonight I begin to unwrap them. I am releasing clarity where there has been confusion. I am releasing peace where there has been panic. I am releasing provision where there has been lack. I am releasing reconciliation where there has been rupture. I am releasing strength where affliction has made you weary. I am releasing doors where there have been walls. I am releasing calling where there has been confusion. I am releasing everything I have been saving for this moment, and I am releasing it on this open line to the one who picked up. I want you to know that as I am releasing these things, the enemy is making his last attempt to stop them. He is whispering louder than he has in years. He is sending doubt like a flood. He is activating every voice of discouragement he has ever planted in your mind. He is hoping that the increase in noise will drown out the voice on the line. Do not let him. Pick up the phone, press it to your ear. Let my voice be the loudest sound in your spirit. Let the line stay open. Let the conversation continue. The enemy's noise is not the final word. Stay close, stay listening, and let my voice lead you through it. I want to bring our conversation to a close, my child, but I want to do it with a request. Do not hang up first. I know you have a life to return to. I know the day is calling you back. I know the list is still long and the noise is still loud. But before you put the phone down, before you swipe back to the world, hear me one more time. I am not finished. I will never be finished. The conversation we are having tonight is not a single call, but the beginning of a long series of conversations that will span the rest of your life. There will be days when I call and you do not hear. There will be days when I call and you do not pick up. There will be days when the line goes quiet and you wonder if I am still there. I am still there. The line is still open. I am still calling, and I will never be the first to hang up. I want to invite you into something, my child, not a religion, not a denomination, not a list of rules. I want to invite you into a relationship, a daily, hourly, moment-by-moment conversation with the one who made you and who has been calling you since the day you were born. Pick up every morning. Pick up every night. Pick up in the middle of the day when the noise gets too loud. Pick up when the doubt gets too heavy. Pick up when the joy gets too good to contain. Pick up. The line is always open. The one calling is always here. If this message helped you stay on the line, subscribe so you can keep receiving these reminders. Turn on the bell if you want the next message when it comes. This call is not the last call, my child. This is just the beginning. There are other conversations ahead that will shake you. There are revelations waiting to be spoken into your spirit that will rearrange the way you see everything. There is mercy waiting to meet you. There is provision I can give in wisdom and in season. There are people waiting to be brought into your life. There are assignments waiting to be activated. All of it hinges on whether you stay on the line. So stay on the line. Pick up tomorrow morning. Pick up tomorrow night. Pick up when the world is loud. Pick up when the world is quiet. Pick up when you are afraid. Pick up when you are confident. Pick up in every season. And I will be there on the other end with a word for you, with a promise for you, with a presence that will never leave you and never forsake you. Heaven is calling you now, my child. And the next voice you hear is not the voice of the world. It is not the voice of the enemy. It is not the voice of your past or your fear or your doubt. It is my voice, the voice of the one who has been calling since before time, the voice of the one who knows your name, the voice of the one who is not finished with you and never will be. Pick up, stay on the line, subscribe to the conversation, and let me show you what I have been preparing for you since the day the world was spoken into being. I love you, my child. I have always loved you. I will always love you. And the call is not over. Amen.